June 21st, go skateboarding day. This is the first real biking day of the trip. Gonna go about 22 miles from Isheim to Oslo, and left at about 5:30 this morning. Been up since 2:30. Be a good day. We rode from the Oslo airport area to Oslo. Got there, went to the park, had a couple beers, passed out for a little while, and then made it to the ferry. The cabin we had didn't have any windows, which is nice because it doesn't get dark till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Go to the nearest assembly station. Remain calm and follow the instructions.
Left Frederikshavn and made our way down here. Good morning. It's June 23rd. We slept at this camp spot, and I didn't realize that I had slept at the bottom of the basin, and so it got flooded, and I basically woke up in a big puddle. But besides that, the ride yesterday was really good. Mostly raining the entire time. Non-stop rain. Constantly, but it wasn't that bad. Hopefully we'll get to Aarhus today and take the ferry over to the Zealand side, and hopefully I won't sleep in a puddle again. That would be the best thing to do for morale. We biked from Hadsund, where we had camped the previous night, after taking an hour and a half trip from Aarhus over the ferry. We had about 3 or 4 beers within an hour, so it's feeling pretty good. We camped out on the beach. It was a good way to end the day.
No.
Morale's pretty high today. Waking up on the beach was nice. Got to dry up my tent a little bit after the puddles that I slept in the previous night. And yeah, this is the trail. Beers deep. Took a little break while the torrential rain came down. We're on our way to Copenhagen right now. Might have an Airbnb, might not. Might sleep in the forest if it doesn't work out, we'll see. But it's nice to have a little bit of sun for the 2-minute allotments that we get throughout the day. So this is the second allotment of sun. After a few more hours of riding, we set up our tents in a soccer field on the outskirts of Copenhagen.
No one bothered us. We cooked up dinner and had a few beers and settled in for the night. All right, it's June 26th, Monday. We biked about 70 miles after waking up early this morning. Went through several different islands.
It's really, really windy here.
Then we found this great primitive camping spot, which is open to the public here. There's a campfire spot, so kind of makes me wish I bought some more beers. Probably gonna make a campfire. Just a minute here. Gonna cooking up some dinner for the evening. And yeah. We took off from that camp spot, biked to the ferry and took that ferry over to Germany. Yeah, just kept on biking from there until we got to a city called Neustadt and camped in the cemetery, the graveyard there. I think it might have also been like a World War II memorial or something. This was another long day of biking. We took off from the graveyard and biked around 60 miles through the northern German countryside to the outskirts of Hamburg. We stopped off at this tavern for a few beers, and that's when the rains came in. All right, so we're right outside of Hamburg today. Got in here last night around 3 o'clock and spent the night in this park here, right by this statue. Rained pretty hard, probably the hardest I've ever camped in. It's like a torrential downpour, way worse than just taking a shower. So got a little wet. My sleeping bag was pretty moist from all the other previous nights of sleeping in the rain. So all in all, it was pretty miserable. Thankfully tonight we'll be getting an Airbnb, so that'll be good. Maybe dry up for a little bit. But yep, that's how it goes. So after waking up in misery in the tent that was completely flooded with water in Hamburg, we made it to the Airbnb and got settled in. We spent the rest of the day in Hamburg just having beers, riding around the city, trying to get internet, same old stuff. We left the next morning to just torrential downpour. And then it just didn't stop. Set off in the rain, just non-stop pouring. It was pretty miserable. It was some of the hardest rain that I've ever experienced in my life. By far the hardest riding through.
Thanks. Boy, that's tough.
Yeah, it's slippery. After following Google Maps directions to a road that doesn't exist, we got pretty lost for a few hours. We came across a few historical sites from World War II that I don't think a lot of people would see unless they got lost like us. so maybe getting lost in the middle of nowhere wasn't too bad. We found our way to the quaint medieval city of Hamburg, where we finished the day with a few beers. This was another rain-soaked day along the Elbe River from Hamburg to Berlin. And yeah, we just took off this morning, already did about 13 miles, and we'll be in Berlin later this evening. This is all part of it.
Oh, is it? All done. 1,300 miles.
Very good.
Thank you.
Just got into Berlin. It's pouring rain, and there seems like no more of a fitting way to end this trip than just more pouring rain.